LV County Championship cricket returned to Bristol following a break for the T20 competition, and Gloucestershire had the better of the opening day of their match with Middlesex. These are the highlights. Alex Gidman won the toss and decided there was enough in the wicket to opt to bowl first, although on another sweltering day that appeared to be a mistake, as Sam Robson and Scott Newman began well as they comfortably opened up with a stand of 63 in the opening hour of the day, a day which started late after the two met in an evening T20 game on Sunday. But Gidman was then rewarded as his bowlers fought back superbly. Newman on 25 was the first to go as he drove somewhat loosely at Jamal Hussain and was caught in the slips by Gidman. Robson battled hard for his runs, but his endeavours were putting his side into a good position as they reached 77 for 1 half an hour or so before lunch. Then O.A. Shah got a ball from John Lewis which seamed, and he nicked it to Gidman and was out for 4. In the next over, Robson, who'd made 39, was leg before playing across a ball from Anthony Island. The score soon became 83 for 4 as Neil Dexter, in his first-class match as Middlesex skipper, was unluckily caught down the leg side by Jonathan Batty off Island for a duck. Darren Milan and John Simpson then tried to lead a counter-attack against Gloucestershire's 5-man pace attack, which was by now causing plenty of problems. Both batsmen hit boundaries as lunch approached and the score moved on to 97. But to the final ball of the first session, Simpson gave Ireland his third wicket by edging a delivery slanted across him into the hands of Hamish Marshall in the slips. Simpson went for 9, leaving Middlesex in trouble at 97 for 5. All 5 wickets had fallen for 34 runs in just 11 overs. So it was not the ideal time for debutant Josh Davey to come to the crease, but he began his first LV County Championship innings in a confident fashion. And he was helped in what would have been a nervous time for him by Milan, who batted sensibly, waiting for the bad ball to dispatch to the fence. Not for the first time at Neville Road this summer, conditions had suited the bowlers, so every run was absolutely vital to Middlesex's cause, and Milan was certainly setting his stall out as he and his young partner advanced the total to 134. The 6th wicket partnership was ended when Milan picked the wrong ball to play this shot to, and top-edged the delivery from James Franklin to Chris Taylor and was out for 29. Davey was now joined by a player with only a tad more experience in the first-class game in Tom Smith, and the Scotland international began to settle into his innings nicely, showing that there's much more to his game than being a one-day specialist. Smith didn't stick with him for any length of time though, and having scored 7 and taken the total to 156, he was the 7th man out as he turned a short ball from Ireland into the hands of Kadir Ali at short leg. Tim Murtagh decided to have a bit of a thrash with the bat to try to give the score some respectability. But after he hit 17 from 19 deliveries, he drove an edge Hussain behind at 181 for 8. Angus Fraser had put a lot of trust in youth in this side, and Toby Rowland-Jones was another making his LV County Championship debut. He then would have been delighted to drive Steve Kirby through the covers. Davey was by now batting really well, and this was the 8th boundary of his innings. A pull off Kirby then brought him 3 more runs to bring up his 50, a very handy start to his career. It had taken him 102 balls, but given the conditions, the strength of the Gloucestershire attack and the wickets which had fallen around him, this was a great effort from the 19-year-old. A very useful stand of 53 between the two debutants ended when Ireland collected his 5th wicket, as he finished with brilliant figures of 5 for 25 from 11 overs, Kirby taking the catch off a miscued pull. Davey was the last man to go for 61 as he failed to deal with a short ball from Lewis and edged to Franklin in the gully. Middlesex all out for 236. Gloucestershire have struggled with the bat so far this season. They are the only county in the country without a centurion, but Ali and Batty began well enough on this occasion as they opened with a stand of 28 before bad light took the players off. On the resumption, 2 more runs were added before Pedro Collins bowled Ali for 13 with the ball which kept low. Then Batty was plumb in front to the same bowler for 20. There was still the best part of an hour left in the day and a real chance for Middlesex to get themselves right back into the game against this fragile batting lineup. But Marshall batted positively in reaching 21 by the close, well supported by Chris Dent, who finished the day unbeaten on 13. You do get the feeling that this match may ebb and flow throughout, and Gloucestershire will have to bat well on day 2, when they will resume on 81 for 2, trailing by 155 runs.